Welcome everyone to another video of Vinyl Addict. This is Chili and I got a trilogy here for you that is just top notch. Okay, I'm talking about the Beastie Boys from 1992 to 1998, starting with Check Your Head in 92 to 94's, I believe, Ill Communication, and 98 with Hello Nasty. So here we go. This is this one here, this one here, and this one here. Now I picked this as a trilogy of three strong consecutive albums, coming from their album before this, which was Paul's Boutique, which really wasn't a success as far as album sales. It was a follow-up to their major debut, Licensed to Ill. But looking back at Paul's Boutique, it was a critically acclaimed piece of art. Actually, it was the first rap hip-hop album to contain sampling, and they really did a lot of sampling in that album. There's over 300 samples in that album, and it was done by, back then they weren't called the Dust Brothers, but they were involved in it. And so this came out in '89, pretty much at the dawn of the golden age of hip-hop. So you've seen other artists that came out of there doing a lot of sampling, like Public Enemy, Boogie Down Productions, and so on and so forth, and De La Soul being one of them. But Beastie Boys kind of started that, but then they kind of disappeared and came back in '92 with this album, and they pretty much reinvented themselves by actually reverting back to their roots, which was playing instruments. They started off as a punk band, a three-piece punk band, and so they kind of brought that back into the fold, playing instruments in 1992, and they kind of reached a more alternative audience. They went on to do Lollapalooza and things like that, and on this album has the songs So What You Want, which was the one that they came out with, the first lead-in track, but like Pass the Mic was also one of the songs that they started off with. But then like the punk songs like Time for Living and these really cool songs. I love Funky Boss, and they still were doing some samples on here as well. But they came back and it was just a new sound. They were playing instruments, and it sort of just, I think they took the time between the Paul's Boutique and this one to really just come out and just be a new entity for a new generation. And then, because if you went back at '92 and started looking, I'm sure a lot of people remember, Fight for Your Right to Party and this and that from, '86, but to go back, and this was a totally different band. So it all started with Check Your Head, and they are right now in a 40th anniversary edition, and pretty much we'll be talking about that because there's a super deluxe edition box set on that. So that's Check Your Head. They actually came back afterwards and did Ill Communication. Now this one is a great album. There's a lot of instrumental music on here. They started going into kind of different rhythms, and the big hit on here was Sabotage, and their videos were just hilarious, and they had some Q-Tip is on this album. There's a gatefold here, and they were just continuing that newfound audience that they got from the alternative music scene, and so they kept on going. And Ill Communication is a really strong follow-up to this album, Check Your Head. And then in '98 they took a longer break from '96 to '94 to '98, and they came back with Hello Nasty, and this one is the songs Body Movin' and Intergalactic, which won awards. This one, they kind of went back to old school hip hop. They got a new DJ, which was Mixmaster Mike, who was amazing, and they kind of brought back the MC and the DJ. You know, as hip hop was kind of changing, you had bands like The Roots and people playing instruments, and producers are starting to come in. They were kind of reverting back to the DJ being the one who was just live on the spot, just creating, you know, the music with two turntables. And Mixmaster Mike is, you know, one of the highlights. He became like a really integral part of this band in this era. Like just watching his intros before the band comes out, you know, he comes up there and warms up the audience, and he just mixes all kinds of stuff together, from Rush to, you know, salsa music and everything like that, with White Zombie and everything. It was just kind of eclectic kind of stuff that he was doing, but that's what the Beastie Boys are. And the tour for this album, they put out a movie which, like no other movie that I've seen before, which was really amazing, called I Shot That, Hey I Shot That, which is, they gave audience members from all parts of the arena a camera to shoot the band, and then they just kind of just went in there and edited it all together and tried to, you know, piece all these kinds of things together with it. And it's a new look on a different, on a concert film, and was just, you know, it was groundbreaking at the time. So that's the Beastie Boys. They've always been kind of groundbreaking, and even like the first two albums prior to this, I mean, they are totally different from License to Ill, which had the rock and hip hop thing going on, with, you know, the follow-up was Paul's Boutique, which had all the sampling and all that kind of stuff. To these albums, they always kind of went and changed and did what they wanted to do, and it seems like who's ever interested at the time would just kind of go, oh, that's pretty cool, and just kind of join in on the party. And Hello Nasty, from the 90s, I thought the Beastie Boys were strong. So from Check Your Head to Hello Nasty, that is the trilogy, and it's a 3 strong albums, you know, back to back. So comment below, what do you think? Do you think I should have started at Paul's Boutique, you know, or kind of like after the Hello Nasty, you had, you know, the 5 boroughs, should have that been included? But I think the 3 in the 90s were like the strongest. Like this video, comment, and subscribe if you still haven't, and I'll see you guys on the next video.